Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the UK Seniors Hub. I hope you're doing well today, keeping warm, keeping steady, and taking things one day at a time. It's always lovely having you here with me, and as always, thank you for joining this community where we support one another, stay informed, and make sure no one gets left out of the updates that affect our daily lives. Now today, we need to talk about something very important, something that affects millions of pensioners across the UK. And I know for many watching this right now, this is not just a benefit or a policy detail. This is something personal, something that affects your independence, your social life, and your ability to remain connected with the world. I'm talking about the free bus pass, and specifically the new UK bus pass rule change for 2025. Public transport has always been a lifeline for so many seniors. For some of you, that bus ride is your route to the GP. It's how you get to the town center for a bit of shopping. It's how you go to church, meet your friends, see your grandchildren, or just enjoy getting out of the house for a change of scenery. And for many over-70s, the free bus pass is more than just a card. It represents freedom, mobility, and connection. But in late 2025, a major policy shift is being introduced. And whether you live in England, Scotland, Wales, or Northern Ireland, these changes will affect how bus passes are renewed, checked, and issued. For some, the process will get easier. But for others, especially those who haven't updated records in a long time, or those not comfortable with online systems, this could cause confusion or even disruptions if we aren't prepared. So today, we're going to break this all down together, slowly, clearly, and in plain English. Take a breath. There is nothing bad or scary here, but there are important steps. And we're going to go through them one by one. Now, let's start with the key headline. The UK Bus Pass Rule Change 2025 is introducing automatic renewals, digital identity checks, and stricter eligibility verification, starting November 2025 and continuing through February 2026. Now, why is this happening? Well, for years now, councils and transport providers have been dealing with a few recurring issues, and many pensioners have felt the inconvenience too. For example, outdated addresses on records, so passes got sent to the wrong place. Expired photos that no longer resemble the holder. Records not matching between DWP, council systems, and the bus pass databases. Some passes remaining active long after the holder moved, relocated, or sadly passed away. These issues cost councils money. They create confusion for bus drivers, and they slow down services. So the government has decided to modernize the system. And the biggest change, which I think most of you will actually appreciate, is this. Your bus pass will renew automatically, as long as your DWP and council records are up to date. Let me say that again. No forms, no queues, no running around to the council office, no waiting for approval. If your details are correct in the system, your pass simply continues. Now, that sounds simple, and for many, it will be. But there are a few requirements we need to be aware of. Let's go through eligibility first, because this is where some confusion tends to happen. Eligibility is staying mostly the same. If you live in England, you qualify once you reach state pension age, which right now is 66. In Scotland and Wales, eligibility remains at age 60. In Northern Ireland, it depends on the Smart Pass system, but follows similar rules. However, and this is the bit that changes, the system will now verify your eligibility through DWP and council databases. So if your national insurance number, name, or address doesn't match, or if your records are incomplete, your renewal might pause until corrected. Now let's talk specifically about those of you over 70. You are at the heart of this change. because from late 2025 onward, if you are over 70 and your pension records are active, your bus pass will renew automatically every cycle without any action from you. This means no reapplications, no paper forms, no worrying about expiry dates. Your independence continues without interruption. However, and I must emphasize this, your photo ID must be current in the system. If the photo on your bus pass is more than 10 years old, or if it no longer looks like you may be asked to provide an updated photo before your automatic renewal goes through. This is to prevent confusion at the bus doors and to avoid awkward conversations if a driver questions whether the pass is genuinely yours. Now, I know updating photos isn't always comfortable. Some of us avoid cameras like the plague, as I've heard before. But think of it this way. That simple update is what keeps your access seamless and unquestioned. All right, now let's talk timeline, because I know many of you will want to mark this down.
The rollout begins 15 November 2025. That's when Phase 1 begins in England.
Phase 2, January 2026, extends to Scotland and Wales. Phase 3, February 2026, everything synchronizes nationally. Phase 4, March 2026, final bug fixes and user feedback. Now, I want to make something clear. You will not lose your bus pass. You will not be charged to renew it. You will not lose your entitlement if you qualify. This is not a cut. This is not a removal of benefits. This is a system modernization. But here's where you come in. To make sure your pass renews smoothly, I would like you to do just one thing. Sometime between now and November 2025, take a moment to check your personal details. Check your address on record, your name spelling, your national insurance number, and whether your photo is still current. You can do this on gov.uk, your local council website, or by phoning the helpline if you're not comfortable online. And remember, there is absolutely no shame in asking for help. Whether it's a family member, a neighbor, Age UK, or the local library digital support center, there are people who will gladly support you. Now let's talk briefly about those who don't use computers. The government has confirmed something very important. Offline support remains available. This means you can renew in person if needed. You can submit photos physically. You can request support via telephone. You do not need a computer to keep your bus pass. No one will be left out. Now, I want to give a real-life example, because sometimes policies only make sense when we picture them in everyday life. Imagine Margaret, 74 years old, living in Leicester. She uses her bus pass to go into town every Monday to do her shopping. She doesn't have a smartphone. She doesn't do emails. But her pension is active and her address hasn't changed in years. Her record matches automatically. Her pass renews on its own. She does nothing. One day, a new card simply arrives in her post. No stress, no fuss. Now imagine Bill, 71, lives in Glasgow, and recently moved house to be closer to his daughter. But he forgot to update his address with the council. His renewal notice gets sent to his old address. It bounces back. His pass becomes temporarily paused. Not canceled, just paused. Bill calls the helpline, updates his address, and the new card is sent to his current home. That's the type of delay we want to avoid by checking early. So, here's the takeaway. This system is trying to help, but we just need to make sure our details are correct before November 2025. Let me summarize. The free bus pass continues. Eligibility stays mostly the same. Renewals become automatic. Your records must be up to date. Over-70s benefit the most, but photo updates may be required. Offline support remains in place. And now, before we close, I'd like to ask something from you. If you found this video helpful, please give it a quick like. It helps the channel reach more pensioners who need this information. If you support easier renewals for seniors, comment below, Bus Pass 2025, so we can spread awareness together. And if you're new here, do hit subscribe and tap the notification bell, because here at the UK Seniors Hub, I'll continue bringing you the latest updates on pensions, benefits, cost of living support, travel perks, and everyday advice to help you stay informed and empowered. All right, my friends, take care of yourselves, look after one another, and I'll see you in the next update right here on UK Seniors Hub. Goodbye for now.